And we have some breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ, where play has been suspended during round 2 of the Masters because of inclement weather conditions. To see all the folks trying to get out there of Augusta. We know that 2 trees have fallen there on the course. At this point, no injuries have been reported, but of course, we'll have more details as soon as they become available from Augusta. Getting a look at the current leaderboard there at the Masters, we have Brooks Koepka in the solo lead. He is back 12 through 2 rounds. That is tied for the 3rd lowest 36-hole score in Masters history. Jon Rahm in 2nd there through 27 holes. Rahm still has 0 bogeys or worse since that double bogey on the first hole yesterday. And then in 3rd place, solo 3rd, amateur Sam Bennett. He is back 8 through 2 rounds. He competed for Texas A&M in the Valspar Collegiate Invitational and now solo 3rd at the Masters. And we have our host here of the First Cut Pod, and of course our golf analyst Rick Gehman, who's been an absolute rock star for us on HQ, giving us updates all day long for a round 2 update. And Rick, we've been talking about it all day long. Is there going to be a weather delay? It looks okay. It's raining. Of course, we've seen the video of some of the trees that have fallen, so it looks like finally we're seeing that inclement weather kind of get through, Rick.
Yeah, there you go. Very scary scene coming earlier with that tree falling there at Augusta National, and reports are luckily, no injuries coming from that, because that's obviously a very dangerous situation, and that's what I think is the difference here between the first delay that we had on Friday, now the second delay that we've had on Friday. The first was just 21 minutes. I guess there was a little electricity and rain in the area. They paused play. And then here they have actually gone in the second delay to the extent of evacuating the ground. So this is obviously something that is likely to press on much longer, which then starts to raise questions about the forecast for the rest of the week. As you alluded to, Jacqueline, we knew there was going to be weather in the area. It was going to roll in on Friday afternoon. We still expect there to be a lot of rain on Saturday in Augusta, Georgia. So this is kind of what was expected in terms of the time and the type of weather that was rolling in. And now it's just kind of a waiting game as we get into a little bit of uncharted territory.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we'll have more details as soon as they become available right here on HQ. Rick, let's get into round 2, some of the performances that we saw. Of course, we're going to kick things off starting about Tiger Woods. He's right around the projected cut line. Of course, things could change, but thoughts on what you saw from Tiger in round 2?
Yeah, the big cat's right on the number, and his hopes of playing the weekend at Augusta National are still very much up in the air. It's a pretty clean scorecard. A bogey on 7, he gets it right back with a birdie on 8. That is a par 5. It's playing as the easiest hole on the golf course on this Friday. What I saw from Tiger Woods in round 2 is essentially what I saw from him in round 1. His distance control with his irons has not been great, and because of that, he has missed a lot of greens in regulation. Now, the good news is that he has been able to get up and down here on Friday much better than he did on Thursday. So that short game has been a little bit tidy, but he's putting a lot of pressure on that facet of his game, which is not something that you generally want to rely on, Jacqueline. So if he wants to make sure that he's around for the weekend, padding that scorecard with a birdie or 2 coming in will certainly go a long way.
All right, and we know that Jon Rahm, he's got the solo 2nd there. Rahm, we've talked a lot about the double bogey in round 1 on the first hole, and the conversation's been a lot different since then, looking pretty good, obviously, at the top of the leaderboard or towards the top of the leaderboard. Rick, what does he need to do to continue that success into the weekend?
Yeah, this is kind of a tale of 2 halves for Jon Rahm, or at least not even halves. I mean, what he did on hole number 1 on Thursday and what he has done since. As you mentioned, Jacqueline, very ugly double out of the gate, but he was able to rebound quickly. And this is about as good as it gets on Friday here out of this afternoon wave that clearly got the worst end of the weather draw. He starts with 7 pars and gets 2 circles on the card at 8 and 9. And he's got that look about him again that we've seen for a lot of the last year, where he's focused. He's got that kind of 1,000-yard stare, and there's nobody that's going to pry this major championship away from him except maybe Brooks Koepka at this point. But Rahm is looking very good. I think it's now just kind of a big question mark about when he's able to get back out on the golf course and if he's able to continue this solid play. I don't think conditions are going to get much better for him as the week goes on. So this delay could end up hurting him. I think he would have liked to stay on the golf course and continue to play because he was beating a lot of his peers at the time of the stoppage.
All right, another guy who had a really good first round, Victor Hovland. He's in a more subtle shirt for round 2. No azaleas that we're seeing this go around, but he's in T4. He shares that with Colin Morikawa. What is different for Hovland today versus yesterday, Rick?
Yeah, first, I think he called an audible on the shirt. He was supposed to be wearing green floral today. He went with just the solid brown, but I think that was a choice that Victor made. You know, he has been a little bit reliant on the flat stick and his around the green play. We know that is statistically the weakest part of his game, and he's hit a few clunky chips on Friday, but he was able to make enough pars to keep his head above water. He hooped a 50-footer for par on number 1, which gives you a lot of momentum when you know that the scoring average is going to be a shot or a shot and a half over 72. So he's got 1 bogey on the card. I'd love to see him kind of break the seal and make a birdie somewhere, but he's got a couple of par 5s in front. And if conditions do continue to stay difficult, or if they deteriorate, if the wind, as we expect, continues to roll into the area, Victor Hovland probably finds himself with a little bit of an advantage because he flushes it so well. He's got all the shots and he can hit this little piercing thing through the wind. So I'll be interested to see if things get really difficult, if he's able to take advantage of that.
And getting back to the guy that is in the lead, solo lead, Brooks Koepka. I mean, Rick, how much of an advantage does he have when he's already done with his round for the day? And then these other guys who are right there still in the mix towards the top of the leaderboard, they're dealing with, you know, not 1 weather delay, but 2. How much harder is it going to be to catch Koepka when they are dealing with these weather delays?
Brooks is laughing and laughing. He thinks this is the best thing ever. Yeah, he's done. The next time he plays is if everything is on schedule, would be late on Saturday. He's got plenty of time to rest and recuperate and get right, while all of his peers have to battle tough conditions, starting and stopping, fatigue. I mean, this could not be going any better for the 4-time major champion. What we saw out of him on Friday was nothing short of spectacular. He played the 4 par 5s in 5 under and then made 14 pars everywhere else. I mean, it was absolutely clinical, and now he gets all the time in the world to do whatever he wants, and he's a 4-time major champion who is used to this situation. I mean, this is lining up perfectly. Sometimes there's the golf gods come into things, Jacqueline, and give some guys good breaks and bad breaks, and Brooks has played phenomenal golf, and he's getting the best end of the luck. So this is a really, really good situation for Brooks.
Yeah, Rick, you mentioned the golf gods. I think they were with Cam Smith on 8 as well. We have his shot that we want to roll. This is him in the bunker. It's out, and then eventually gets an eagle putt on 8. What were your initial reactions to this, Rick?
Yeah, this is disgusting. This is not human. You're not supposed to be allowed to do something like this. There's a couple of aspects here. You know, number 8's the easiest hole on the golf course, but not when you're playing it out of the fairway bunker from 264 yards. And this is a really good job of him and his caddy knowing the contours of Augusta National and that he could play that up the left-hand side and get that to kind of funnel out towards the green. And then to even know that and be able to pull off that shot are 2 completely separate things. And then because you hit such a great shot, now you take advantage of it by rolling in the eagle. I mean, it's spectacular. It was a great shot. He's only even par for the day because you saw he's got a couple of bogeys there on the scorecard as well. But that's the kind of special stuff that we expect from Cam Smith, our reigning Open champion, a guy that has threatened here at Augusta National before. That's certainly one of the highlights. It's definitely the highlight from Cam on this Friday, and one of the highlights potentially of the tournament thus far. Yeah, just an awesome shot from Cam there. That is Rick Gehman joining us here on HQ for a round 2 update from the Masters. Thanks so much, Rick. We appreciate it. And of course, you can hear Rick alongside Kyle Porter on their podcast, The First Cut.
Live episodes coming your way on YouTube and right here on CBS Sports HQ following every round of the Masters. Of course, the guys are going to have a lot to talk about with that breaking news where play has been suspended because of inclement weather. You can scan that QR code right now.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.